So we had part 3, 4, shit, I don't know, forgot. So fortunately I had to disconnect the transmission from the engine because, man, these engine bays on these trucks are so short. There's no way, there's not enough room for you to angle on the hoist to angle the engine and transmission in at the same time. So you have to literally take it apart and put it in and assemble it with the engine inside and put in the transmission from under. That's gonna be fun. So right now, other modifications I have to do was this cross member. This cross member really is a hindrance to the entire project. Oil pan in its original form does make contact and kind of sit on top of it, carrying holding the engine's entire weight. So I had to take the bar out, grind the brackets down. As you can see, quite a difference in height on either of them, and pretty much I need about a centimeter down. And I did bore out the holes that are bigger than normal for the bolts, so that way the bracket itself, which is right there, sits a little lower than stock, so that way the engine and transmission, the engine pan is not sitting directly on top of it. That way I can at least drop it some more, so that way I have tonal clearance. Cross member brackets, grind them down pretty much as far as I want to. Pretty much, and also bored out the bolts so that way they sit a little bit, a few millimeters lower. I also had to bore out the bracket holes themselves. The little T-bar piece right here. Bored the holes out of those so that way it seats deeper, so that way it's a little more flush. Nothing's sticking out, everything's pretty much level. So I'm estimating that this is about a quarter inch lower than it used to. And we're gonna go ahead and modify the motor mounts a little more, since there were some clearance issues with the AC compressor and steering box with the motor mount modification. So I'm gonna put that side back to its original spot, and then I'm gonna lower this side so that way we can get it lower. See how it fits. So after filing and grinding down and porting up the holes on the cross member on the truck, set the engine in there, even after modifying the motor mounts, it still sat crooked. And I found out that the oil pan was pivoting on the bracket, on the cross member itself, and it had to go. I just chopped that sucker right off. As you can see, those brackets down there, because I've been dealing with this problem for quite some time, trying to figure out how to get this thing fit. Took the engine out numerous times, trying to figure out what's going on, why is it not fitting straight, blah blah blah. So it had to go. Did a lot of research, trying to find alternatives and everything, but there was nothing out there regarding this issue. So went ahead and just cut it off. I'm gonna have to in the future make a custom bracket or custom cross member that will at least tie the section close, since it is part of the lower control arms, which withstand the most G-forces of the truck, and just mount them back to clear the oil pan. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put the engine back in and just see how it goes. I'm going to try something different. Original 22RE mounts do not work that well, as they're too spongy and they cause torque twisting for the engine. It might be hitting the headers onto the control arms. So I waited and got these. These are Trail Gear, not sponsored. Solid mounts. We're just gonna see how these work. So the engine would not move at all when I'm on the gas. And this is just the spacing between the headers and the control arms are so tight that yeah, you'll begin to my sockets are rolling away. And if I sound a little funny, it's because I've been fighting a cold or flu or whatever for the past couple days. So, anyways, yeah, went ahead and got solid mounts. I may have to cut these tabs off the mounts and see how they fit. See if I can get some adjustments. If you can see in the controller of the motor mounts, they're slotted, so this will give me some back and forth adjustment. And don't worry, these things do they teeter, so they can have whatever angle there is. I think I'm gonna have to just loosen this nut when I'm doing the adjustment. See how it goes. Just in case if anyone's curious about this, how do you take off these motor mounts for the 1Cs? You're gonna have to remove the headers in order for you to access it, unless you got some weird, non-reasonable, flexible wrench head that can somehow reach from low and over. So you're gonna have to take the headers off and take a little 17 mil and remove them. You're only gonna have about 3 inches of movement, pretty much. So you gotta be patient. So you loosen up, then eventually you'll be able to get your fingers in there and finger tighten, especially when you have ones with these. I don't know where it is, but especially if it has the one with the lock washers on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap the solid mount. As you can see, compared to the original, roughly about the same height. Yeah, remember that old mounts are rubber, and so they compress under weight and torque. This one will not. So we'll see how this fits. I might put the original motor mount spacer on there just to keep it genuine. I can't have this in to flush too much, or else the headers will actually really be making contact with the control arms on the truck. We'll see how it goes. Okay, finally got the engine end with the solid mounts already bolted in, and when tolerance and tightness come to play, we're talking about really. As you can see, spacing between the control arms and the headers is almost non-existent. But there's some there, probably a millimeter. But the engine is not completely flat because it's tilting against the firewall, and the engine's too heavy for me to tilt. But as you can see, it's kind of leaning against the firewall. Usually it'll be laying a little more subtle, and then the clearances between the headers and the control arms spaces out. So overall, everything clears out. Everything. I did not use the cover between the stock motor mounts, which are originally on here. These guys, because they cannot cover or go over the solid mounts, because they hit those side bolts that allow you to pivot. So pretty much the motor mount to motor mount to motor mount, no spacer in between. So overall, everything sits clear. My only issue is now when I looked under the truck, when trying to get this guy under here, the bell housings on the one UZs are quite large. As you can see, there might be some clearance issues between the body of the truck versus the transmission bell housing trying to fit inside. I don't want these guys making contact and have drive terrain vibration translated to the cab, even though I'm running solid motor mounts. We try to avoid contact with stuff that might move versus something that doesn't move. So that's one step to go beyond, or one step we have to obstacle that we have to overcome. So overall, we'll see. And then next time I'm gonna try to get the transmission attached, or at least try to. Hope and pray. I did measure the bell housing transmission from the back of the engine to the hole, and I also compared it to a stock transmission to the modified one, and they're pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. 22 inches from the very tip of the bell housing to the middle of the shifter. So there's no concerns about drive shaft links or anything like that, or motor mounts or transmission mounts not mounting. Oh, I can't wait for